Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. I come to you today with a heavy heart, a heart full of regret, a heart that has come to realize I made a grave error. And so today I issue a formal apology regarding Mohammed Hijab. This is an individual who has amassed credentials, who's been listed amongst the top 500 most influential Muslims in the world, who engages in high-level academic discourse and debates atheists, liberals, feminists, you name it. It was wrong of me to question such a man without evidence. I mean, who am I to believe a woman, a sister, a mother, a believer who cried sore by Allah and shared her trauma publicly without first conducting a full Sharia court-style investigation complete with forensic teams and 5 notarized witness testimonies? So yes, Mohammed Hijab, I apologize. I apologize that I didn't expose you sooner. I apologize that I showed restraint. I apologize that I tried to protect your name and reputation even when you showed no regard for the sister you harmed, the sheikh you threatened, or the people you gaslit. I apologize that I gave a coward the benefit of the doubt. Just the previous night, this is the message I received directly from Mohammed Hijab.
It has been suggested in your messages that you intend to present what you claim is damning evidence. Let me be clear. At this stage, any evidence you put forward would necessarily be fabricated, whether by you or by the subject.
Here's tactic number 1, preemptive gaslighting. He doesn't wait for evidence to be presented. He discredits it before it even exists. That's a classic narcissistic move. Redefine reality before it unfolds. Frame the narrative early and plant doubt. He continues,
I am writing to make one thing clear. The information we possess is not only authentic, but far more damning than anything you might contrive.
Here's tactic number 2, threat of counter-exposure. He's not denying the allegation. He's threatening to reveal, quote, damning information, implying blackmail, without actually revealing anything, just enough to instill fear. Vague, ambiguous, and intentional. He then states,
We have maintained extensive and precise notes on your conduct, including your involvement in the matter with Dunya. When these facts emerge, your credibility will be irreparably destroyed.
This is surveillance rhetoric. He's creating the illusion that we've been under watch, documented, and tracked, trying to make us paranoid, but it's just vague enough to avoid specifics. Another tactic of emotional control. He states,
More importantly, you must consider the ethical ramifications. The woman at the center of this issue has, on multiple occasions, shown signs of psychological instability.
This is character assassination, masked as concern. He labels her unstable, not through evidence, but through innuendo. He paints her as mentally unfit, setting the stage to discredit anything she says. It's a way to invalidate her trauma before the world hears it. He continues,
Particularly through obsessive comments that we have both observed, along with other concerning behavioral patterns.
Notice the shift to we. Now suddenly, he's enlisting my own witness role against her. It's an attempt to plant shared guilt and manipulate my allegiance, as if I've already seen her, quote, instability, and I just haven't admitted it yet. He states,
Based on these signs, there is a very real danger that she may harm herself under pressure.
This is weaponized guilt. He's placing her mental health and the weight of any tragedy on my shoulders. If she breaks under pressure, I am to blame. This is not concern, it is emotional blackmail. He continues by saying,
Should that happen, the psychological toll on her side would be deep and enduring. That outcome would be on you.
It is crystal clear. He's trying to paralyze me with guilt, trying to make her life and her daughter's well-being my burden, not his, even though he's the one who caused the harm. He continues his targeted blame, stating,
I am sending you this message now to offer a clear and responsible way forward. Take the video down and refrain from making claims for which you do not, in fact, have evidence. From this point onward, any harm that comes to her, or more importantly to her child, will rest squarely on your shoulders.
This isn't just a threat. This is a spiritual accusation. He's trying to rewrite accountability to transfer the blame for his actions onto the people speaking truth. It's the hallmark of an abuser. Make the victim seem dangerous. Make the advocate the villain, and cast yourself as the misunderstood protector. He begins to conclude by stating,
Let me be clear. If you step back now and act with restraint, this ends here. But if you persist, we will respond fully, and the consequences will be permanent.
Permanent consequences. Not legal, not moral, not spiritual. Permanent. That's as close as you can get to a threat without explicitly saying it. It's the psychological equivalent of a loaded gun laid out on the table. He wraps up by saying,
What is done, but what is undone can still be done.
Habibi, we do not need Shakespeare here. Cryptic, ominous, deliberately unsettling. It's the final intimidation tactic. The message is clear. Back down or brace for destruction. And yet people will still ask me why I didn't stay silent. These are the words of a man who refuses to face allegations directly, who hides behind AI voiceovers, shadows, and vague threats, yet accuses others of cowardice. Let me be clear. I do not fear your threats. I do not fear your power. I only fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if this message was meant to silence me, all it did was light a fire. This isn't concern. This isn't care. This is psychological warfare, blackmail, intimidation cloaked in fake compassion, weaponized guilt used to silence us, and worse, to place a sister's potential harm on our shoulders when in fact it was you, Mohammed Hijab, who shattered her life. You claim we lack evidence. Trust me, it is coming. But then why threaten us? Why try to guilt us with the child of the woman you yourself used and discarded? If we were nobodies and she was just a crazy stalker, you wouldn't have to resort to deleting comments, using AI voices, and releasing slanderous videos filled with secret recordings and manipulated sound bites. You released a 15-minute video response, and yet you were too cowardly to speak for yourself. You had to use an AI narrator to try and divert attention. You referred to yourself in the third person because denying allegations through a voiceover is conveniently detached and allows you to not have to directly deny the allegations. You couldn't even say the words, I deny it. Why? Because you can't. Not a single direct denial, not a single appearance, not a single oath against the sister's testimony. You couldn't even do a proper mubahala. Here, let me help you. Repeat after me, Mohammed Hijab, the exact phrase used for mubahala. Allahumma anil kadhiba minna. O Allah, curse the liar amongst us. You call yourself a champ, flex your muscles, and have an MMA debut looking like a tough guy. But when the sister challenged you, yes, challenged you to mubahala and to meet face to face, you have essentially squirmed away like a coward and remained silent. Instead, you gave us AI, character assassination, deflection, and an attempt to reframe yourself as the victim. Also, let's not forget your repeated messages in the private conversations with both myself and Dr. Abu Aya, where you direct us to, quote, expose me. Don't worry, we will. This is only the beginning. You told us to present our evidences. Well, consider this your official notification. We will. The videos, the screenshots, the voice note, the full testimony from Dr. Abu Aya, all of it will be released in the coming days. We tried to keep it private. We tried to resolve it with dignity. We even protected your name in the first video by withholding evidences that would cause permanent reputational damage and humiliation. But you responded with threats of possible suicide and guilt with respect to the sister, claims that the sister is unstable, and a slander campaign against the sheikh, leading him to vomit and go to a hospital the very next day. You are not safe behind your screen anymore, Hijab. Not from truth. You are a danger to women, to scholars, and to yourself. What gives me the conviction, the fuel to speak against powerful, protected individuals like you, Hijab? even as the world is stacked against me. It's my unwavering belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the reality of the Day of Judgment. They can strip away my name, my reputation, even my life, but they will never be able to stop a movement fueled by sincerity, driven by our trust in Allah, and rooted in a mission of truth and justice. For those of you watching, know this: it is Islam, not any man, that gives us a framework for justice, a system of divine law that protects the innocent, checks the powerful, and upholds dignity. The blemishes, the stains, and the trauma that people suffer are not because of Islam. They are because of men who wear the garb of religion while following their own nafs, their own desires. They are not representatives of this deen. And we will not today, not ever, let these men be the brush that paints and defines our perfected religion. After the message Mohammed Hijab sent me the previous night, he sent a message through a well-known da'i who stated, he mentioned that he has potentially 3 du'at, big du'at that may be possible to record reputations warning against you, but that Hijab is obviously holding off on that. Subhanallah, additional threats to blackmail me. I'll make this easy for you and your cronies. I am a nobody. Attack me, humiliate me, dig up whatever you want. Whatever character flaws you want to attribute to me, multiply it by 100. But what I won't accept is the silence of our institutions when a man uses the religion of Allah to deceive, exploit, and manipulate women and cast threats to cover their tracks. We do not protect Islam by protecting malicious predators, and we do not defend the deen by silencing victims. We are not here to worship Muhammad Hijab. We worship Allah and Allah alone. This story is far from over. Stay tuned because the veil is about to be lifted. Allahul Musta'an.